Good morning, everybody. It's Dark Green, the Road Scholar. I know the lighting sucks in this video, and I am going to have to start doing something about that. Get a little round light or something to put over there. But that's what I'm with today, and so that's what we're going to have to use. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in Dallas, Texas, and I'm getting ready to pick up a load and head down to College Station. This load pays about $600. It's about 235 miles, and then I'm going to come right back to Dallas, pick up another load, and head up to Ardmore, Oklahoma with that one. That's about 120 miles from here, and it pays about $480. And then I come back here and wait on another load from exactly where I am now, going down to San Angelo, Texas. Here's a problem drivers are facing, new drivers, new companies, new MC numbers, new DOT numbers are facing out here is when you're first getting started, there aren't a lot of options as far as brokers. Now they say on here, well, the big brokers may not work with you, but the smaller ones will. Well, yeah, but how do you find the smaller ones? You know, they go, oh, they'll find you. A lot of those that call you are not brokers, those are dispatching services. But that's neither here nor there. They are some that contact me on email and everything, but all those seem to want flatbed. I run drive-in, so that doesn't help me. So what does a new MC number do or new authority do in order to get to work? First, make sure you have your IFTA tag. Before you get all set up and everything, make sure you got your IFTA tags and everything, because otherwise, if it takes you a while to get those, like it took me over a month to get mine, all I could run was in Texas. I happen to be very lucky. Texas is a very big state, and I can make quite a good money here. But once you have that and you're ready to roll, how do you find loads? There's a lot of load boards out here. Like a lot of people say, TQL sucks, they don't pay enough and everything. That depends on how you use TQL. I get paid anywhere from $3 to $4 a mile when I'm running with TQL. The lowest I've been paid with TQL, which is Total Quality Logistics, for those new guys out here looking, the least I've been paid with them was $250 a mile. And people are saying that you're full of crap, you're full of bull, you know, TQL doesn't pay that much, they don't negotiate on rates. Yeah, you're right. Most of the time they don't. However, when those loads start hitting towards the end marks of getting picked up on time and delivered on time, TQL starts raising those rates on those loads. I, again, happen to be very blessed to live in a state where Total Quality Logistics has a lot of loads, and they cannot get them covered in time. So if you wait till, you know, the last, like a day or two or three before that load has to go out or anything, you'll notice the rates start going up. Either that, or I'll wait till the last day. I'll call them up and say, hey, I see you got this load, needs to get delivered. You want to raise that $1.05 a mile up to about $2.05 a mile and $2.15 a mile? Yeah, they'll raise it. What else can you do? Oh, TQL is the big boy on the block. They go out here. Do you want to know who to blame for these low freight prices? That's one of them, TQL, Total Quality Logistics, because they go out here and offer these loads for cheap as hell just to get more and more loads. They're like clamping down the market. The problem is they're one of the only ones out here that work with new authorities. So all these thousands of new authorities that go out here have got to go through and use companies like TQL, and we got to haul the freight cheaper in order to move at all. So a lot of people on here on the internet told me when I first started, and still tell me, don't haul cheap freight. I try my best not to. I really do. I don't like hauling cheap freight. I think it sucks. I think it sucks for the industry, and it sucks for everybody out here. However, don't blame the truck driver for hauling it when he has no choice, because the big brokers won't work with him. I would much rather work with NFI and some of the and PepsiCo and some of these bigger boys that pay a lot more money. I would love to. They won't work with us. They will not work with our new authority. So do not get mad at the driver. Well, if you quit hauling for them so cheaply, they'd raise their rates. No, that's not true. They'll keep them low and everything, and then the thing is, they'll get more and more freight, and it'll force everybody. And that's exactly what they've done. They've become such a behemoth out here that they don't care. They really don't care. So they will keep the rates low. The brokers like TQL and drive the prices way down. And they don't care because they carry so many loads that their brokers are making money and everything. Their staff is making money and they're making money, and they don't care about the truck driver. They laugh at you. They laugh at you if you ask for another another 15, 20, 30 cents more per mile. They have one of the lowest ratings on some of these load boards as far as negotiating prices because they just won't negotiate, and they don't have to until the big companies start hiring the new authorities and letting new authorities run under their rates and stuff and run their freight. We're forced to go with TQL and some of these companies that pay lower rates. And because there's so many of us out here, TQL is able to keep grabbing the lower, cheaper freight rates from the shippers because they offer lower freight rates. And so the shippers would rather go with them than to go with companies like NFI or PepsiCo or whoever these big giants are. All these companies that will not work with new MC authorities. So because they offer them the lower rates, of course they're going to go with TQL. And so they give the freight, the shipper gives the freight to TQL. TQL took it at a low rate. They have to give it out to us at a low rate. The only difference is I'll hold out. I'll wait till the last day or two, go back in there, but they're forced to pay me more. Sometimes they lose money on me on loads because, I'll go in there and tell them, no, I need $1 more than you're asking for. That's almost like a 35-40% hike. So they lost all their brokerage money in there, but they'll take it from another couple of small ones that pay me because they got to get the freight going because they promise it. That's their reputation. So that's how I get more money out of them. But yeah, so don't blame the drivers for quit hauling cheap freight. No, blame the brokerage companies for not hiring new authorities. So anyway, that's that. How else can you find TQL is what I'm talking about because it's like I said, it's the gorilla in the room. Total Quality Logistics. Do I use them that much? I did at first when I was stuck in Texas at first because I didn't. Uber Freight is another one that will work with new authorities, but again, the rates are usually pretty low unless you're doing like local runs or something. And again, that's in Texas. I don't know about other states, but they're not paying that much. And same reason, because they get a lot of freight people calling them up and everything, and they'll wait for the freight to get bid down to a certain price. If it doesn't, they'll pull it from Uber Freight and put it with someone like TQL at the last minute. Does, if you ask me, but that's what they do. So Uber Freight does not pay that much. Now you can get a lot of money if you're running like I do, or I did at first, running from Dallas to Dallas. I'm only running like 10 miles and I get to charge them like $8 a mile. Or 16, 20 miles, whatever, and I'm charging them. I got one load, it was a 1 mile run. I got to charge them $200 for 1 mile. But that's just because I live in a big metropolitan area, and it was a very, it's just the way it works. If you're out living away from the big cities or something, you're not going to get those kind of loads. You have to drive to the big city every day to get those kind of loads. But anyway, I was using Uber Freight and TQL. Mostly at first. It took me a while. I got signed on C.H. Robinson. C.H. Robinson isn't great at rates either, but you can find high-paying runs on there. You just got to look, and you got to make the bids, and you got to see what they're going to counter offer. It is a lot of negotiations back and forth. Who else was there? I also got on Convoy load board. However, it seems like Convoy is just a load board, I guess. Now, they do have a brokerage, but most of it is just a load board. And NFI and some of these other big companies get on there, and Convoy lists all these runs and everything, and will they work with new drivers? Convoy will. But some of the freight that gets posted on Convoy is not Convoy's brokered freight. So these other carriers and stuff, or shippers, brokers that post on there, will not let you run with them unless you've been in business 90 days, 180 days, whatever. So you get on there and you go, wow, I get this load. It pays me $3,000 for about 2 days. And then you go to try to sign up for the load and it says the carrier is not qualified, does not have 180 days in service yet. So then I'm stuck, but I'm stuck going back down to the I wouldn't say lower paid, because actually, here's the thing, I found ways around it. Like the run that I'm on right now pays about $880 to go about 350 miles. Not great, but not bad. The thing is, on the way back, because you got to get back home to get another load if you're doing this, because again, it's hard for me to get, once I get down to this load, it's hard for me to get out of state or get on one of the long runs because my authority has not been I've not been a shipping carrier for that long. So I get another load coming back, usually from off the load board convoy also. However, the last couple of times I've looked on the load board, one of them canceled on me yesterday. So I literally had to go down there. I had to drive 700 miles for $880. Luckily, on the way back, I get like almost 10 miles to the gallon because I'm empty. So that was a good thing. It was a saving grace. Not really great. It sucked, actually. But, I made $400. What the hell? So what I started doing now is start combining the load boards. Like I got a load going down there today, going down the same. Well, this was going down to College Station, and instead of using, I'm going to dead hang back to Dallas. It's only like 200 something miles, and this load's paying almost $3 a mile. So coming back, my fuel is cut almost in half because of fuel consumption, because I get a lot better gas miles on the way back because I'm deadheading. Pick up another load here, but I got one off of Uber Freight that only goes 120 miles but pays $4.20 something cents a mile. So that's what I'll be doing after I finish this one. I then have to deadhead back to Dallas, which is fine. $400 something for 120 miles, $480 something for 112 miles. I'm all for it. I'll deadhead back to Dallas. I'm going to come back to Dallas, wait till tomorrow morning, come here, pick up another load, heading down to San Angelo. Once I'm down there, I will deliver it at 4:30 the next morning. And I got to come back to Dallas to here, the same place, because this is a good shipper. They pay really well. But on the way, and get another load going to Amarillo. However, on the way back, I went onto the C.H. Robinson board and picked up a load coming in from Abilene back here. It's going to pay me about $435 for about a 120 mile trip also. So that's how I have to do this. I have to combine these loads. You have to combine the load boards. Would I go out to Abilene and pick up a load and bring it back to Dallas for $435 if I was deadheading the whole way? Actually, for 112 miles, $435 isn't bad. I probably would. I just don't have to this time because I'm combining the two load boards. These load boards, like C.H. Robinson, them have to offer big rates on these low mileage runs because nobody wants to do them. And the only reason I'm really doing them is because they just happen to be joining in route with another load that I've got. So I got to be empty anyway coming back to Dallas. Might as well pick up a load and get an extra $400 or $500. That's how I'm doing it. So same thing when I go to Amarillo, and I'll be on the way back from Amarillo, I'll pick up another load and coming back into Dallas and bring it back in. Also about another $400 something. So those end up being about almost $1,400 days, $1,385 a day. So that's not bad. And then this weekend I got another. I'm stacked up. I am stacked up solid. I have all these dispatchers calling me and everything. We can get you high paying loads. We can get you. First of all, I'm making almost $1,300, $1,400 a day. I don't know how you're going to beat that. But I don't need the dispatchers. Just don't need them right now. So I'm not going to be using them for a little while. I'm sure that something will happen and something will go wrong with this place and it'll close down or something in 5 or 6 months or whatever. And I'll have to go find a different way of doing it. But right now, that's how I'm running. So, what does all this have to do with the new drivers that are watching my video? I'm explaining all of this to let you know it is hard out here when you're first starting. The first 6 months are going to be very difficult. There are very few load boards and companies and brokers that will work with new authorities. Everyone says go find the small broker. He will. Yeah, where? How do I find them? And then again, how long do they take to pay me? It's a small brokerage. Can they pay me in 24 or 48 hours? Can they pay me twice a week? Because someone can't. You have to wait the full 30, 60 days in order to get a check. Can you afford the fuel to keep running for 30 and 60 days? if you have to wait that long to get your first paycheck. So these are all things you have to take into consideration when you decide to run with these brokerage companies that pay low freight rates. And again, for all you drivers out there that are pissed off at new drivers for coming in, or some drivers are coming in and taking the low rates, get pissed off at the brokers you're working for that will not work with the new drivers. That's who you get mad, because we don't like running low freight. I know I don't. I hate running low paying freight. I have no choice. I have to pay for insurance. I have to pay for fuel. I have to pay for my permits. I have to pay for computers. I got to pay for my cell phone. I got to pay for all internet. I got to pay for all that stuff. So if I don't take the low paying freight, how do those bills get paid? Because the brokers that pay the $3 or $4 a mile won't work with us. So that's my big thing, is about all these truck drivers talking about don't take low paying freight. Then send me some information on how I can get the high paying freight with a new authority. And I had one guy even tell me the other day, he goes, why don't you just run under my authority? That defeats the purpose of me opening my own company. Really? Anyway. And then some people, here's another thing they'll tell you. Get your authority now, and that way it ages. If you buy it now and you're not planning on actually taking your first load for about 6-7 months, you'll already have 6 months of aging on your MC number, and before you have to so that way when you start running, you can work with the big brokers. No, it doesn't work that way. And here's why. In order to have your MC number, you have to have insurance. And if you're going to have insurance, you're going to be paying about, especially if you're a brand new driver, or not new driver, but new MC authority and everything, and you're going to be paying about $4,000 down payment and about $2,000 a month to $3,000 a month for insurance for 6 months. That's $18,000, and you're not making any money on that? Really? So no, that's not the answer either, unless you've got about $60,000-$70,000 sitting around. And if you do, then I wouldn't be doing this at all. But anyway, just saying. So no, that's not really an option either. Talking about you get your DOT number and let it age for 6 months. That doesn't work. And a lot of people go, oh yeah, it does. You can buy an MC number that's been, yes, but unless you show it's been working out here and been under, when an MC number is going to get rejected after, so if your insurance is not on that, your COI is not on that, your insurance company will notify them, and they will pull that number. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're buying someone's MC number that has been in business a long time and they have been running, they're just tired of it, they get retired, and they're selling their MC number, that might fly. That might fly. But if you're just go and sign up for an MC number and hope to hold on to it for 6 months and pay those premiums so that you can work with big paying brokers or the better paying brokers, that's going to cost you about $18,000 to $20,000 to do that route. Just to let you know. What else is out here? Okay, so back onto what the new driver, new MC numbers and everything, or you're thinking about getting your MC number. Be prepared for the lower rate brokers at first. Can you still make it? Yes you can. I make just as much, if not more money than I did with Dart on most weeks. Again, I've only worked one full week in the last month because I had to keep going home, finding out there's more paperwork I need to get done and everything, and I have to get that in place. However, so yes, you can still make it. The more you're out here, the more experience you're going to get on how to combine these runs together and how to combine the load boards and the brokers together in order to get back-to-back runs or back hauls, or to continue running the straight lines and everything. Another problem I see, I've seen with, I've talked to a couple of new drivers about new authorities and everything, is when you're first starting out, some drivers book loads back to back to back to back, because that's what we're used to when we're working with the big companies. However, when you're by yourself and you're a new MC authority and you book a load and it's going down somewhere and it delivers, and you book a load to pick up 3 hours later, make sure you're remembering your unload time, your to get to the next destination place and everything, because some of these guys, and that hurts your numbers when you're not there on time. That affects your rating with these companies, these brokers, even ones that will work with new authorities. So make sure you're spacing out your pickups and everything enough to where you have time to deliver, you have time to get to your next stop on time, and make your pickup, get enough rest, and make your next load on time. one driver said that was the hardest thing. I can't remember his name. Who was that? Well, anyway, his biggest problem was he kept booking loads, and he'd have no time to get there. But by the time he got loaded and he got heading out again, he was out of hours. He only scheduled for it takes him 2 hours to get me loaded, and so I got to be pulling out. So I got 4 hours to get down to the next place. It takes 3.5 hours to get there. I'm good. But then he ran out of hours because the shipper he forgot about the check-in time at the window. He forgot about the line outside, whatever. And he ended up having to take a 10-hour break, throwing him about 12 hours behind. And he kept doing that over and over and over until he said it took him about a couple of weeks to figure out, you got to space these loads out where you got to always throw in about an extra hour in front of and an extra hour behind your pickup and your delivery. That way you're going to be on time. Guys, I could talk about this kind of stuff all day long on here. And the truth is, this is an ever learning process. So anyway, guys, but that's my big thing about the brokers. Sign up with more than one. You could use a dispatching service at first. I did the second week I was in business. I used Dispatcher for about 2 weeks to get used to running and how to move things and everything. I figured out after a while I didn't really need them after I figured out how to negotiate and everything, my own rates. So, but you can use a dispatching service. They run about $250 a week, and they will get you some good paying loads. Most of them, the one that I worked with got me really good paying loads. So and if you want, I'll try to remember to put the link down. I'll probably talk about the next video or something and put a link down so you can, if you're thinking about going on your own, you want to work with a really good dispatcher that will keep you hauling and moving, I'll give you their number and everything. I don't use them so much anymore because, you know what? That's going to be for another video. Thanks for joining in, guys. And Trucker Todd, if you're watching this, I'm going to try to call you here in a few more hours because I know after you got off your video last night, you were driving for a few more hours. And I'll be honest with you, I had to go to sleep right away because I had to go to sleep while you were still on the video because I had to be up here early for this pickup this morning. So I'll give you a call here probably about another 4 or 5 hours after I finish this video. So probably around 10 or noon today. Anyway, thank you guys. And then, guys, another thing, if you want a wealth of information and hear a lot about other good companies to work for and everything, go check out his channel, Trucker Todd, on YouTube. He's got a good channel. Some of you guys want to know about freight and everything. I would suggest Trucking Success. Trucking Success. I think it's Trucking Success. I'll get on that on another video too. I'll have all those links and everything down. But Trucker Todd on YouTube is really good to follow. Shannon Trucking is really, if you want to see some of the really nice spots out here and just hear a very nice voice in the morning and someone who can make you feel good about your day, check out Shannon Trucking on YouTube. She's really good and everything. And I'm out. Y'all have a good one.